of course, in the financial community were to sell you energy. That's a large part of the financial cost of all of industry is the energy that it takes to run it. And so there's a great deal of money to be made. Actually, the same people and companies and so forth, if you will check it, bought up just about all the major energy sources. They own the oil, they own the coal, they own the nuclear power plants, everything that has any real promise they already own. And so what you have then is, I would say, economic cartel, loose-knit thing between various countries and so forth that are oil-rich or energy-rich to keep the status quo and keep selling you the thing. After all, if we sell you a barrel of oil today and you burn it, we'll sell you a barrel of oil tomorrow, and we keep charging you for it. One of the things that this revolution has posed, or in many people's minds it has posed, is that Einstein's wrong. Well, I would like to change that just a little bit. I think everything we're dealing with right now in its present form is sort of both right and wrong. There are many things right with it. There are many things wrong with it. It's not totally black or white. It's a mixture of gray. Now let's talk about general relativity. In Einstein's day, there was absolutely no knowledge whatsoever of any way to use the electromagnetic force, which is a quite strong force, to produce curvature of space-time, the geometric curvature of space-time, which is what general relativity is all about. So Einstein used the very weak gravitational force, which is about, for electrons, about 10 to the minus 38 or 10 to the minus 40, something like that. It varies, the number 10 to the minus 42, as strong, an extremely weak force. This means if that's all your theory encompasses, you're never going to have an experimental science on the laptop bench, because that's too weak a force. You can't even measure it. You got to go out by a great big sun or a great big star or something like that to bend the light to even have observable effects. You just simply don't crank up and do laboratory experiments in it. I do point out to you that if you involve rotating machines, and pretty powerful ones at that, you do involve full general relativity. That's very uncommon, but it has been done. For example, in electromagnetic machinery, there are a couple of very famous electrodynamicists, probably the best this country has ever produced, who've worked in that. And so the work there is very formidable, and it does attempt to combine electromagnetics and full general relativity. So what you're going to find is general relativity is going to change. It isn't going to go away, but it's going to start to use the very strong electrodynamic force as being the medium of curvature, and it's going to turn into an experimental laboratory science and great advances in it. Einstein is not going to wind up wrong. He's going to wind up in part correct, but needing a great deal of extension. That's what's going to happen. Well, there's several questions also, I guess you would say, ancillary questions or of more interest to us as living human beings, that occur when you start talking about dealing with very large packages of energy or a great number more energy sources. In other words, putting a lot more energy loose in the environment. Well, the blunt truth of it is multi-signal, multi-radiation environments, there are some effects which I've specified, for example, to the limit that I know. And